Om Shanti. I am a peaceful being, is the greeting we exchange at the Brahma Kumaris. The word Om, a very high energy word, which when even spoken once, radiates a very high frequency vibration to my own self, to my body, to the other person, and out into the world. And when we say Om Shanti, we are radiating the energy of peace to ourselves and radiating it out into the world. Because if there's one thing we all want, it is, we all want, what do we want in the world? We all want peace. What else do we want in the world? Because every day we are seeing the current state of the world. And every time we see the current state of the world, the mind says, I want. So what do I want in the world? I want a peaceful world. I want a loveful world, united, harmony, respect and tolerance for each other. There's so much I want in the world. But somewhere in the last few years, the more I want it, the more it's moving towards strife, intolerance, conflict, and even war. And the more I see that, the more I want peace, love, harmony. Why is it that what we all want is not manifesting into reality? We all want the same thing. And then why is it that it's not manifesting into reality? How is it possible that collectively the entire humanity wants a peaceful world, and yet what we seem to be creating is conflict and strife? What could be the reason for that? Haji? Distraction. There's a lot of distraction. Okay, anything else? Everybody's wanting it, but nobody's ready to create it. Anything else? Why is it that what I want? Because if I look at my life otherwise, just look at your life. We all plan few things for our life. I want this, I want this, I want this. And we're able to manifest so much of it. We want health, we work towards it, we get it. We want a beautiful relationship, we work towards it, we get it. We want to achieve something professionally, work towards it, get it. Brother David wanted to share with his music with the world. He worked on it, he got it. Only when it comes to creating a peaceful world, we are not getting it. Why? Why? We are not giving. We are not creating it. Anything else? We are not? We're not compromising. Anything else? Yes, sister? We want for ourselves, but maybe we don't want enough for each other. Anything else? Why are we not being able to create a beautiful, peaceful world, everyone in harmony, everyone happy? Why are we not able to create it? We are not? We're not? We're not making enough efforts to make that happen. Anything else? We are not grateful for all that we have. We don't let go, we don't forgive. We are not perfect. We are not happy with what we have. Is there a connection between I and the world? Is there a connection between I and my world? Let's look at this room. This is our world right now. There are 400 minds in this room right now. If someone had to bring a technology to check the energy field of this room, let's check the energy of this room. Is this room vibrating at peace? Is this room vibrating at stillness? Is this room vibrating at stress? Is this room vibrating at fear? We need to check the energy of this room. The energy of this room will be the sum total of the energy of the 400 minds present in this room. Yes? Yes? The room by itself, would it have any energy? No. It's the 400 minds sitting in this room that is the energy of this room. So do I contribute to the energy of this room? Do I contribute to the energy of this room? Yes. Do I get influenced by the energy of this room? Do I get influenced by the energy of this room? Yes. So which means at any moment, both the things are happening simultaneously. I contribute to the energy of the room. I get influenced by the energy of this room. Yes? Yes? Sure? Everybody? Sure. Okay. Let me visualize a pond of water here. Everybody see that pond of water, visualize. And each one of us has a glass. And every day we pour a glass of water in that pond. That pond is the collective consciousness of this room. And the glass of water is? The glass of water is my consciousness. So every day I pour my consciousness into the collective consciousness. So because each one of us pours a glass of water, the pond is going to be of water every day, because each one is pouring a glass of water into the pond, and each one of us is also drinking from that pond of water, contributing to the room, getting influenced by the room. Now, one day, only one of you poured dirty water in that pond. Only one of you poured dirty water in that pond. Will that pond change? 399 will pour normal clean water, and one person will pour dirty water, contaminated water. Will the constitution of the pond change? Yes? Yes. Now, 400 of us will now drink from that pond of water. Will what we drink change? Yes. And tomorrow, 400 of us will pour a glass of water again in the pond. What we are going to pour again will now it change because we consumed a different constitution yesterday. Will it change? So suppose one person pours contaminated water. Now the water in the pond is 0.00001% contaminated. And then 400 of us drink that 0.0001% contaminated water. And tomorrow what we pour into the pond is going to be 0.0001% contaminated. Gradually, day after day after day, what's going to happen to that pond? What's going to happen to that pond? Started with normal water, shifted to 0.0001% contaminated, and then gradually toxic water. Now we all want clean water. We all want clean water because we're drinking that contaminated water every day. And now we're looking at that pond and we are saying, I want clean water. So what do we have to do? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? We want, but it's not happening by my wanting. So what do I have to do? One of you, only one. We need only one. One of you pour a glass of milk tomorrow in that. Possible for one to pour a glass of milk? Even if everybody else is pouring contaminated water, is it possible for one to create a shift? Yes, one. And when one will pour a glass of milk, tomorrow, each one of us will be drinking 0.00001% milk in that contaminated water. And the day after that, what we pour will change and will change. We need only one person who can begin the shift to change this room from peace to violence. And we need only one person in this room who can shift the energy from a violent, turbulent energy to a peaceful room. The shift is only going to begin by one. Important is for me to ask myself, am I ready to be? Am I ready to be that one? Being where I am, the family where I'm living, the place where I'm working, the city where I'm living. I may be surrounded by contaminated water. Am I ready to contribute my glass of milk? What is contaminated water? Contaminated global consciousness would contain an emotion of? What's the emotion of the world today? Emotion of? What's the predominant emotion in the world today? Emotion of jealousy. Acha. Emotion of hatred. Oh, fear. Fear. Emotion of fear. Anything else? Aggression, anger, loneliness. Yes. Anything else? Emotion, not issue. Emotion. Okay, so let's take 5. Aggression, fear, hatred, loneliness. Anything else? 5. Grief. Okay. Now let me check my inner world. And jealousy was one of them, right? Now just check your inner world. Any of us creates jealousy? Please raise your hand. Anyone creates jealousy once in a while? Anyone creates fear? Anyone creates aggression, anger, irritation, hatred? Hatred. Now, do we know why the world is the way it is? Do we know why the world is the way it is? Do we know why the world is the way it is? Now, I want to change the world. I want a world of peace and love and harmony. Today is the day to sit back and ask myself, I have the power to create that world, but I only have to create it here. If I promise myself today, I will not contribute to the terror in the world by remaining only peaceful inside always. Is it possible to live a life without anger and aggression? No irritation, not even a trace, no anger. How many feel personal guarantee I can live a life without the slightest adulteration of irritation and anger? We all want a peaceful world. We all want a peaceful world. What happens is when most of us are creating fear, anger, aggression, the predominant global consciousness becomes aggression and fear. And a few people get so influenced by that collective vibrations of aggression and fear, it overpowers them. And then for them, aggression and fear is not just in the mind, it comes out into action. Violence in action will only be shown by a few people, but it's a result of violence in the minds of most of the people. Terror in the world, in a physical form, is a result of terror in the minds of most of us. So if I want to finish violence and terror from the world, I will need to contribute by finishing violence and terror in my mind. Because here is my world, and here is my energy radiating to the world. If 400 of us today radiate only peace into this room, there's just not possible to have anger in the energy field of this room. It's not possible. It's not possible. But if 400 of us are going to say, anger, natural, irritation, natural, how can I always be peaceful? Then it's not possible to have a peaceful room. How much ever we may sit back and say, I want a peaceful room. It's not possible. It's not possible. Are we ready? Are we ready to create a peaceful world? Why can't we live without anger and irritation? Why? Why? Why can't I live without it? Ego. Any of us here have ego problem? Anyone has little ego problem? Yes? And what is ego? How would I know that I have ego? I would not even know. I need to check whether I have that ego. What is ego? How would I know, sister? Do you have ego? How would you know? How would you know? Hanji? If you think you're being somebody else, how would you know you have ego? If you get? Yes, if I get hurt, I have ego. If I get angry, I have ego. If I'm stable, I have self-respect. If I'm dependent on other people's opinion to feel good about myself, it's ego. If I can feel good about myself without others' appreciation, self-respect. If I need other people to say I'm a nice person, ego. If I know myself whether I'm right or wrong, self-respect. And if I have ego, then lust, anger, greed, jealousy, and the list are there to stay. We need a world where peace, love, and harmony is a natural way of being. And we all have a power to create that world with only one shift. And that shift is going to be here, where I am going to shift from wanting peace and love in the world, from wanting peace and love from other people, shift to being the peace and love that the world wants today. And when I'm being that peace, being that love, then I radiate that energy of peace and love into the world. And when I radiate that, I am contributing towards creating a beautiful world.